So I wanted to make this video and talk about how to become a high value person. Now, a high value man is different than a high value woman. Different metrics, different characteristics, right? And I'll share a little bit on each side, but obviously I'm going to share more on the male side because that's what I'm working towards. And I was thinking about this point. I was walking, listening to podcasts and stuff, and thinking about this point of, if you're not growing each day, you're dying, right? Even a little bit. I look at the trees and stuff around you. A tree is either growing or dying, right? It doesn't stay in one place. Now, the growth may be so little that you may not notice it, but over time, each little bit by little bit, you see it turns into a big tree that you see, right? And so, as a person, each day you should be getting up and ask yourself, right? Like, okay, what do I need to work on in terms of my wealth? Where do I need to go in terms of my relationship and my health, right? And as a man, right, especially in today's world, it's becoming harder and harder, especially with all the propaganda, everything trying to make, men more feminine and make women more masculine. Everything's like getting messed up, right? So it's more important now than ever to really look at your life, look at yourself, be like, and ask yourself, like, what is the world that you want to live in, and who do you want to live in that world as? Because right now, the elite, the 1%, whatever you want to call it, are in the process of removing that middle class. So very small percentage of people are either super wealthy and the rest are very, very poor. So there is not going to be any middle class. I mean, look at it. Since the 1970s and so forth, the incomes and everything has gone up only like 200% or whatnot. But the cost of everything else, the cost of education, going to college, all that has risen over 1,200%. The cost of traveling, 200-300%, like gas, everything, right? So it's like everyone's income has gone up just a little bit, if not the same, since the past 5-10 years. But however, everything else is going up. So if you don't have a business or nothing where you can increase your wealth, you see why at some point you won't be able to do anything, right? The rent is going higher if you're renting and all that, right? So each night when you go to bed, you should be asking yourself, like, what is one key thing I learned today? Like, take 1 minute, ask yourself, what is one key thing I learned today? And what is one win that I achieved today? Again, small, big, doesn't matter, right? Let's say if your goal is to get into better shape. If you went for a walk, 5-10 minute walk, that's a win because you're starting somewhere. If you go to the gym, if you do some push-ups, anything that you do, it's a small win, right? And as a woman, your goal ultimately is to get to a point where you want to have family, children, things like that, right? And I mean, if you're being honest, that's what women want. But the way the society's programming everyone is, no, you should put your career first, go sleep with as many people as you want, go party all the time. And all these women now, if they get to 30, 40 years old, where that now they realize there's a certain point where the chances of them having babies is going to be way less, then it's like a clock ticking, right? As a woman, if you're partying, doing all that right now, you need to realize in the future the type of man you want to get. That man, is he going to accept you in the future if you haven't worked on yourself, if you haven't become a woman that can have babies, can take care of families and whatnot, right? And I'm part of certain groups. In our groups now, many women are having children, taking care of them, nurturing them and all that. And the men are building the business, making the money and everything, right? And I'll tell you, like, there's no greater feeling than each day working on yourself to become a better person, even if it's a little bit. And there's times where I feel like there's no growth, nothing's changing, why nothing is happening. I'm doing the right things, right? I'm using the tools, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but it feels like nothing's changing. My bank account's not changing. Not like there's no significant change. But then all of a sudden, one day, everything goes up higher. I make a lot of money, like more people come into my life all of a sudden. That's why I never stop doing the small things that will give me the result. Imagine, consider a newborn baby, right? And let's say since day one, you start telling the baby, like, can you say mama or can you say papa, whatever. And you might have to say that for months and months without the baby ever even saying anything. You're there telling the baby, can you say mama, can you say papa? The baby's just looking at you and you wonder, like, can the baby even understand what you're saying or anything like that? But then you wake up one day and then you say the same thing, can you say mama? And all of a sudden the baby magically says mama. And everyone's shocked. Everyone's like, wow, like how did that ever happen? But no one ever asked the question of what was the process of what took the baby, what caused it to then one day wake up and say mama, right? And that's how it works. You work on a little bit, and then you get big results. So as a man, if you're a man, ask yourself, what makes you a high value man? Which for men, it's money, right? It's your ability to build businesses so that when you get a woman, you could take care of her financially so she doesn't have to work or any of that stuff, right? And then also, are you getting into better health, better shape, right? Because you can have all the money, but if you're not in a good health, if you're lazy all the time, you don't have energy, you don't have any of that stuff, then what's the point? You're not going to be able to do anything. You won't even be able to make a lot of money anyway if you're really out of shape. And there's, again, exception of people who are born into, let's say, a wealthy family, and you look at that person, you're like, well, that person is way out of shape, but he has money. But you don't know, maybe they were born into, like, there's many factors, right? But again, ask yourself, is that who you want to be, right? Why not have the best of everything? Have the best money, health, relationship, and all that, right? And then, yeah, so ask yourself, what is something you're doing? And again, one key aspect of that is associate yourself with the types of people who have the things you want, and they have been where you are, where they also didn't know what to do and so forth, and then they found mentors and they got what they wanted, right? And so if you're looking for mentors and things like that, reach out, message me. I've mentored a bunch of people. I also have many mentors. My mentors have mentors, right? So you have to have something that you're working on every single day, or else you're gonna be depressed. Like, what else are you gonna do, right? So yeah, I just wanted to make that quick video because that's really the most fulfilling thing. The process of really becoming high value as a male or a female, regardless of which one you are, you have to ask yourself what makes that person high value. Many women think, for example, high value woman is if a woman makes a lot of money, has good career, all that stuff, can be independent. But those are qualities of men, masculine qualities, right? And women think the same thing that they want in a man, the same thing that men want in a woman, but that's not how it works, right? For me, it's actually less, it's not that there's anything wrong with a woman making more money, but a big factor of making more money, for example, one aspect is you have to be less agreeable. In business, you can't just do whatever everyone tells you, right? For me, many people reach out to me and they're like, can I talk this, can we chat this day? And I'm like, no, I don't have time. Like, let's chat in 2 weeks from now or something, right? A week from now. And that puts me in a position where the person's like, okay, Amir's not just sitting around not doing anything. And so that's one quality that's helped me make a lot of money. And so if a woman's doing that, is not agreeable, then when you're talking to a guy and then you keep cutting him off, you keep being disagreeable, all that stuff, then it's like that guy doesn't even want to talk to you, right? So you have to look at for yourself what that means, right? And yeah, if you need to be part of communities where, and these are all free communities where we're giving so much value. There's multi-millionaires there working ourselves to become multi-billionaires and so forth. and we're here to support other people to do it, right? And we have certain tools that you could use as well. Again, many free tools and some paid tools to really, accelerate. Because I tell people, I say, you could always go from point A to B, but it's like, do you want to crawl from point A to B, or do you want to take like a fast supercar or a jet to get from point A to B? It's up to you. You want to spend a month to get to that destination, or you want to spend 10 years? It's up to you. For me, I choose a month, and I'm willing to spend whatever money I have to spend to get that as soon as possible. And that's why by the age of 23, I built over 6-figure business, 6-figure car, own like all the luxury watches, suits, all this stuff, is because I've risked a lot of money, but also have got a lot of value as well. So yeah, if you want to reach out, feel free to reach out. There will be links in the description. I don't know, I'm probably gonna put it on YouTube or wherever I'm gonna put this. But yeah, reach out, and again, work on yourself, become high status, and then you'll see life will become so much more enjoyable and fun when you have a real purpose. All right, see you soon. Peace.